Hey guys, Game Off the Grid here.
And you are watching Captain Algebra Tee.
Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here, and in 2 weeks, it is the Midwest Gaming Classic again in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My favorite convention of the year because it's kind of like my hometown one here in Wisconsin. Love going to it every year. It's only about an hour from my house, so I definitely make the trip all the time. I'm really fortunate. I've actually had 2 in the last calendar year because 2020 was a wash. So they did an MGC back in November of last year in 2021, and they're doing it again at the normal time here at the end of April for 2022. So super excited, and I figured since conventions are getting back to normal, let's get back to normal here with a wish list video. That's right, I used to do my top 10 wish list items when I went to the Midwest Gaming Classic. Let's do the top 5 this time. You know I'm going for a Genesis collection. This is all going to be Genesis stuff. The top 5 things I want to grab while I'm there this year. So the first 2 are 2 games I already have, but I want to get them complete. First one, Contra Hardcore. A fantastic Contra game on the Genesis. I was lucky to score this loose copy for about $10 at a garage sale a few years ago. And at that point it was going for like 30, 35 loose. So I got a great deal on it, but it's not in the best shape. There's writing on the label, there's a little scratch, and plus, you know, we're going for a complete collection. So definitely want to get that complete. I had a chance to buy it when I was game hunting with Chris Pico in Chicago a couple years ago, but I passed on it. I probably should have grabbed it. Hopefully I can find it for a good deal, but Contra Hardcore is one of the most unique Contra games in the series. It's very cool how you got different paths you can go, so there's lots of different endings. You got 4 different people to choose from. They all have different weapons. It's a lot of fun. If you have not played Contra Hardcore, I definitely suggest you try it out. And yeah, it'd be cool to add it complete to my collection. And the next one is a childhood favorite that unfortunately I've only had loose for all these years, and that is Decap Attack. So I played this one, I believe either I rented it or I borrowed it from one of my mom's coworkers, or it was on Sega Channel, or it might have been all 3. I can't remember for sure, but I loved it. It was such a cool game, interesting game. So you know, you play as Chuck D. Head, so you use your eyes to attack. They kind of like come out of your chest, and then you can get actually a skeleton head that goes on top of you, and then you can shoot it out and attack enemies. But if you get hit, you lose it. You can get a lot of different potions that do different things, such as like make you run faster, give you an orb to attack and stuff like that. It's a really fun game. I actually did finally beat it just a couple years ago, and it's so unique, and I never hear people talk about it. So I definitely want to get that one complete. This one's been on my list to get complete even before I wanted to go for a complete collection, and I just never see it. So hopefully I'll be able to grab it. And now the next 3 are all games I do not have in the collection. Number 3, Dinosaurs for Hire. So this is basically a run and gun shooter with dinosaurs. What's not to love? First time I heard about this game a couple years ago, it's like I immediately wanted it. I had to have it. Unfortunately, every time I see it, it's either too pricey or it is not complete. My local store that I go to has, I believe, 2 copies. Neither of them have the manual, so I keep passing on it. I saw it at Mo Game Con a couple years ago, and they wanted way more than what the game was going for, so I passed on it there. So I'm hoping to finally grab it. I really want to sit down and play it. I've heard nothing but good things, so hopefully we can find it. And number 2, Robocop versus Terminator. So last year, I decided to play Robocop versus Terminator on the Super Nintendo, and I really enjoyed it, but it had its flaws. It had respawning enemies. It didn't have really any invincibility frames for your character, whereas the enemies did, and it was kind of frustrating. It was fun. I beat it. It wasn't that hard, but it was just kind of a lot of annoyances. So then I decided to look up what does the Genesis one look like, and it looks amazing. It sounds way better than the Super Nintendo, which is very rare. You know, typically Super Nintendo has the better sound chip in my opinion, but the Genesis does some sounds right and some music right. You know, it just depends on the game. And I feel like Robocop vs. Terminator with all the gun shooting and just killing enemies really works well on the Genesis. I've heard it's very tough at the end, like the boss is kind of a tank, but really want to grab it. It's one I've really been looking forward to grabbing and finally sitting down and playing, so hopefully we can find it at MGC. And finally, the number 1 game I want to grab at Midwest Gaming Classic, Beyond Oasis. So this is an action RPG that I remember playing briefly back in the day. I think It was on Sega Channel from my uncle, and it just seemed really cool. And I've also played a little bit of it on Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection on the Xbox 360, and it always seemed like it was a fun game. I really want to try it. And the last couple conventions, at Midwest Gaming Classic in November and at MoGameCon back in September, I was looking for that game and I did not see a single copy of it. It's one of those that I feel like I rarely see when I go to conventions. Now granted, you know, when I first started going to conventions, I really wasn't looking for it. I wasn't focusing solely on Genesis, so I might have missed it. The last couple where I'm only going for Genesis games, I've definitely missed it, or I have not seen it. So I'm hoping to finally grab it. It's definitely one I want to play through and add to the collection. It's a little bit more pricey. It's definitely in the, you know, $150 range, but it's definitely one I want to grab. So there you go. Those are the top 5 Genesis games I want to grab at Midwest Gaming Classic coming up here in 2 weeks at the end of April in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you are going to be there and you see me, say hello. I love meeting new people. I know I'll be there. Gaming Off the Grid will be there. Mega Dan will be there. Video Games Monthly will be there. TJ Katsune will be there. Mega Matt will be there. Lots of cool people. I'm sure I'm missing people. I'm assuming John Aguilera is going to be there. He's always there. And I think Back in the Day Gamer is going to be there. I don't know. Haven't heard from him for sure. But we always have a lot of fun. I know John Riggs, Metal Jesus, Kelsey Lewin, the immortal John Hancock, Pat Contry are all going to be there. So super excited. I've met John Riggs before. He's an awesome guy. Oh, Square Peg is going to be there. Can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, John is awesome. It's fun hanging out with him. But I've always really wanted to meet Metal Jesus. He was kind of one of the first YouTubers I started watching when I started collecting video games, and I found out about all these hidden gems that I hadn't heard of before that I wanted to play. And that's kind of what got me into collecting. So it'll be super cool to meet him. And I've met Pat Contry before. I really like him. I know he rubs some people the wrong way. But he did sign my Ultimate Guide to the NES Library a few years ago at MoGameCon. And now I'm going to get him to be able to sign my Super Nintendo one. So pretty excited for that. So thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, this is Captain Algebra, signing off.